Please forgive my hair, roughly. I slept on it wet and it's just doing its own thing. But today's video, before I talk about roughly the subject I'm going to be talking about, I want to talk to you guys about roughly, yeah, my room's a bit different now, roughly. I've changed everything around. About the fact, roughly, I have my hormones are now starting to work. My body, it's changing little by little. It's like really small changes. I'm more curvy and more bit of an I call it pear shape, and also my breasts are a 4C cup. I've still got to fill out in this section. Hopefully that does happen. And but that has been happening. I also have a new medical condition, and I've been officially diagnosed with a lump on the arch of my foot, which is called plantar fibroma, if I've got it right. And it's a lump that is about the size of that, hit the arch of my foot, and I was denied surgery because the lump itself actually has veins in it, which makes me deemed unsuitable for basically surgery because it's dangerous. So I've been living with this condition for a good while. The problem with it is it causes pain, discomfort, and I don't mean just pain. It's like someone literally got, you know how you see those wrestlers, you know, when they grab onto the legs, and you know when they're like constantly like hitting the leg, it's like someone doing that, so you're always in agony. And the problem is I'm more prone to get, I could be prone to getting more, I could be prone to basically not get more, but unfortunately I have noticed a small lump on the arch of my foot, which means I might be actually ending up with a lump on my other foot. I have also been getting, because I can tell it's there, and that is in the arch, I've been getting a lot of shooting pains from that just a very little lump, all the way up my leg, just like my other leg, and it's the same symptoms that I was having from this leg now onto this leg. And the problem is it is affecting my ability to walk. And what I mean by that is I can't do a lot of walking no more. I find going, see, like last time, roughly when I got paid my money, I did quite a few shops, and when me and my mum was doing quite a few shops, and the problem is when we were walking back home, I was walking more slower than her, and she's got like we believe it's angina, she's got diabetes, she's got low energy, she's got underactive thyroid, she's got loads of problems. I was walking more slower than her, and when it took a good while for it to calm down, but whenever I basically had to sit down and my knees were bending, the pain would just like shoot up, and it hurt really badly. It acts up now and then. Sometimes I can be on the sofa just doing nothing, and that is what I've been unfortunately living with. I do have hyperhidrosis as well, roughly, but I have it all over my body, and that is a bugger in summer. But for this summer I was very grateful, roughly, that I was not literally pouring of sweat, because in summer we had the hottest weather in the UK, and lucky enough I was perfectly fine. But today we're going to talk about one thing: my love for books. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Since let me see how I can sort this off. a long while ago I decided basically to, because I used to read when I was younger, and my favourite book was Harry Potter. I read it, I think it was once, but when the book started getting thicker and thicker and thicker, obviously I stopped. And since I got older, I've seen loads of people that listen to the audiobooks. I even seen the other day this person, it was a bloke, going across the road like this, literally like this, going across the road on a red light, and then literally the car literally basically did a fast brake and then honked the horn at the person, and he went like this. And the problem is with today's society, everyone is like phone general, where they're like that. But that is why I gave up my smartphone for a simple little phone. I usually do use my flip phone, but this one hasn't got a camera with it. I prefer phones without cameras, and this has been the best thing I ever did. I do have music separate. I do have an MP3 player. Best thing ever. But the thing is, it left room for me to be more creative, and I feel more calmer and more present in the world, and that I know what's around me. It's like when I'm on a bus, I see people like this on the phones, or just doing this, or watching YouTube, and there's me on the thing on the bus, this in my hand. I'm literally reading books, and sometimes I do get dirty looks because we're living in a society where roughly everyone's using audiobooks. But the thing is, roughly, the problem I find with audiobooks, I've never listened to one, but my brother does. He's got dyslexia worse than me. I cannot pronounce all the words in books, but I give myself one hell of a try. But I find roughly that the smell, the feel of a good book is what is right for me. Having an audiobook read it to you, it doesn't take your imagination to the same place. And since when I first read Harry Potter, I just got so intrigued, and basically reading it, I couldn't stop, I couldn't put it down. And then The Cursed Child came out. I read that one, I think it was within about a day, and that is actually my favourite book, The Cursed Child, of the entire Harry Potter collection. Excuse me. And then literally I went to the charity shop, and then they had a book called A Discovery of Witches, which they've made a TV show. Brilliant, love it. And everything was done perfectly with that, and the storyline is great. And I read that one, I think it was in like 2 to 3 days, and I was like, what happens next? And I went to the charity shop, they didn't have the other 2 books, so I ordered them online. I ordered the second book, and I was like, oh, is there going to be a 3rd book? And then I read the second book in about 4 days, and then I was like, I need to get the 3rd book. And ever since then, roughly, I've been going to charity shops, roughly, to find books. And then, roughly, I stumbled upon these. Now, I have read. Which one are you? Book 1. This is Anthony Howarth's The Power of 5. This is book 1. It's called Ravensgate. And this is called The Evil Star. Now this, I'm loving the storyline. My favourite kind of books are fantasy, you know, where it's about magic and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that really intrigues me. I've tried to read Twilight. I got through book 1, and as I started getting through I was only a few pages in book 2. I can't read them. I do have them, roughly, because I got them from a charity shop, roughly 3 for 2, and I couldn't, it's just something, the storyline didn't interest me. But when it comes to witches, that is my jam. As many of you know, I have always been intrigued by witchcraft and stuff with it. I have stuff for an altar. I'm trying to get hold of a little chest of drawers to actually put my altar on again. But the thing is, when I started reading The Power of Five, I got book 1, book 2 and book 3 from a charity shop, and because it was 3 for 2 I got one book for free, so I paid £2. I'm currently on book 3, The Night Rise, and oh my god, literally the book of the Ravensgate was about the start of the witches, and what it's mainly about is a boy called Matt, or Matthew, and he has the power of fire and seeing stuff, seeing future events occurring. But what he doesn't know is that he's basically part of a group of 5 children, basically, who prevent the old ones returning. A bunch of witches tried in Ravensgate to release the old ones, and they tried to sacrifice Matt because they find out that he's actually one of the gatekeepers, and they don't succeed. And in book 2, which I finally finished, and I'm on page 67 already, and that was within a day of The Night Rise, which is book 3. Book 2, we discover that he's had to go to another country to stop the second gate from being opened, and he meets this boy called Pedro, and Pedro Wolfie is another gatekeeper, and they can communicate Wolfie in their dreams because he's not English and he doesn't speak the same language as Matthew. And what he also discovers, Pedro, he's a healer as well. That comes at the end of the book. And what I find interesting on this is the journey they go through. He has to dress as like a real pauper because with the Pedro, his parents died in parents and his sisters died. I think it was his sisters died in a river with in their town when it flooded. But he survived. He naturally healed himself. He never thought of it that way. But in the second book, the second gate is open. Oh, the old ones have returned. Matthew did not succeed. Unfortunately, my darling, I'm so sorry. But Wolfie, he did not succeed in trying to keep the gate open. But what he did, he connected with Pedro's power, and they connected together to basically cause havoc. It was amazing. We also meet a new character called Salamander, and he's supposedly this really tall, ugly bloke, and he always has to keep his neck basically straight as possible because he's always had to do this because he's always had to duck under things, and he's very rich and that lot. And he also creates a false star as well, Wolfie, because it's not going to be in alignment to open the gate, but he manages it. And we also meet quite a few people, Wolfie, that are from from a really good tribe, Wolfie, and there's a war that goes on. Love it. And then when I was like, when I read that book, I was like, okay, book 3. And then when I started reading it, we're in another country again, and we are meeting twins, mind readers. Unfortunately, one of them has been captured. Now, because this is a new book, I'm still trying to get hold of the names. Jamie and Scott. Jamie and Scott are in this. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the dog in it that attacked the 2 men that were after the boys. But they basically put a dart in it and basically grabbed hold of its neck, put it to the ground. Don't like that part. But the thing is, one of the twins has been captured. Roughly, it was Jamie. Scott is with another woman. She was at the circus where they basically ask for people for like objects, like, and they ask them for basically to read a certain word off a newspaper and circle it, not to say anything like that. That's how they do their trick. But the thing is, this woman is the same woman that basically helped him. Both of the boys ended up with darts, one in the shoulder and I think one in the neck, and she basically asked how they do the trick when they were in the circus, and they didn't say anything, but one of them had a kind of like moment where basically they were revealing that roughly she's looking for a child. She doesn't know what's happened. Her child's currently in a lot of pain and that lot. That's how far I've gotten so far in the book. And I basically says to myself, I was like, okay, how many books is in the power of 5? And not thinking, duh, there's 5 books. This one, how many pages are there? 400 pages on this, the Nightrise book. I'll put that there because that's the current one I need. And then I went on Vinted and I was like, I really need the next set of books, roughly basically for the collection. I have quite a few collections and I'm so proud of what I've basically got. And roughly the next book after book 3 is this, Welcome to the City of the Dead. That is because roughly the old ones have returned. And then it doesn't say much, but I love the cover. It's one of those hardback ones, but the pages are green. Look, the little back page bits there. It's obviously white, but the thing is, this part is green. Love that attention to detail. But this one, I'm so in. Actually, how many pages is that one? I don't think it's going to be a lot. It doesn't seem as thick. This one is only 387 pages long, but the last book is where it is thick. This book is like really, really thick. Here's a comparison. I'm going to read every single one of these books. This one is 668 pages long, and in this one it says, if I remember rightly, the Earth is almost destroyed by the forces of darkness. Those who survived are barely human, drifting in a world ruled by famine, terrorism and war. At least one hope now rests with the 5 extraordinary teenagers, the gatekeepers. And apparently one of the 5 is a traitor, and they realise that they cannot win. And what I think the traitor is I think it's one of the twins, because one of them's been captured, but I don't know yet. But my god, I got these for £2 each. I did have to pay postage, but it was around about £4. But the thing is, I have just been loving reading. It's unreal. I'll show you some more books. Now this one, roughly, is a little bit weird. Roughly, I got it for 50p. It's about a mermaid, roughly, and I can't wait to basically look at this roughly, because I believe it does have pictures. As Alice says in Alice in Wonderland, what's the use of a picture if a book if it has no pictures? But in my case, I prefer books without pictures. But 50p roughly, not gonna moan. But I was also in the charity shop roughly, and I also found this book. It's called Ink Death, and I just love the cover. It caught my interest straight away. It says, go back and rid the world of the book. Fill it with words before spring comes and winter will never end for you. And I will take not only your life for the heads, but your daughters too, because you helped you bind the book. You do understand, Blue Jay. Why to? Asked Mo harshly. How can you ask for 2 lives in return of 1? And this book is just as thick as the Power of 5 book. I also found this one. The woman that was in the charity shop, she says she had her eyes on this. It's called Witchfire, and it's basically about the world. It's got mages, lots of magic in it, and the future. But the thing is, reading books really has changed my outlook on life, and I'm finding I want more and more. And the problem is, I've only got this little shelf right there in my built-in closet, as you call, and that art. But what I want is, where my vanity desk right here is, I want a shelf here and another shelf going along, so that I can display every single one of my books and get them out there, because unfortunately they are collecting dust and I don't like it. But the thing is, like I said, the problem with the world now is everyone is too concerned with smartphones, roughly the latest technology, but they're forgetting about the world we once had, where we were all, I am a 90s kid. I am a 90s kid and I am proud of it. We had phones like this, or in my case, my childhood phone. Where are you, my darling? This right here was my phone, the Motorola Razr V3. It does work in perfectly working condition. Few scratches. Mint condition. Bit dusty. But the thing is, I actually want to get this one locked so I can start using it. I actually wonder if I actually put my Vodafone SIM card in this, if it would actually work. Because if I remember right, it was actually locked onto Vodafone. But the thing is, roughly, this is what I used when technology was just coming in. Games and stuff were just coming in and everyone was loving it. We even had the very first iPod. We were coming into MP3 players, we had CD players as well. We had it all. And that, but the thing is, what we also had was books, and we weren't sitting there on our phones 24/7 roughly, because that was the problem. That's the problem with nowadays, is we're too bothered roughly to basically do stuff now. We've become more lazy. And since giving up my smartphone, I can literally leave this on the side and not even think about it no more, roughly, because my mind is no longer in that mindset. I can just go on the sofa and I can sit there reading. I have a laptop, I have a computer. Sometimes I don't even go on them. My laptop, I do go on that roughly because I do drawing and art, and I also do designing on clothes as well. I'm basically rearranging how I now do stuff, and it's worked out 5 times more better. But anyways, I'm going to leave you with that. That's my little rant. Hopefully, but thing is, I encourage you guys to at least try one book and see if it basically brings back a spark in you, because you will find, if you're like me, certain books appeal to you, and unfortunately I have been hooked line and sinker since reading, to the fact hopefully that I do buy from a charity shop, but guess what, I am also putting my own money to finish the collection. I mean, most people would look at a book like this and they'd be like, no, too thick. But once the storyline starts going on, because you start off with a very small little book like this is where the entire show, like, let's get the storyline started, and you start off with a small book, then it gets a little bit thicker, and then the storyline continues, and then it gets even more thicker, as you guys can see. And then with this collection, it actually slows down a little bit, and then it gets thick again. But the thing is, I like this about this collection, roughly, is the fact, roughly, that it is different. Roughly, the books get smaller, then they get bigger, then they get bigger, and then they go back to small, and then it goes huge. Love that. But the thing is, I completely encourage you to try a book, put down the audio book, and actually use your mind. Some people will say that they don't have the time. Believe it or not, roughly, it doesn't take that long, and I understand some people can't do this, but the thing is, it really does not take that much time. Sometimes I'll even stick my light on and just read this at night time on my bed. Try it and see how you do, and if you want to, try giving up your smartphone for a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, see how you go. Bye.